Hi, I'm K.J.H, and I'm going to discuss the making of a movie. Yeah, I know it's coming soon, but this is technically, in fact, an intro to this, so I'm going to discuss the way I made the movies from my early years all the way to my present time, which is today. So here I'm going to discuss it with you guys. Well, the way I used to make movies is when it used to start up in my early years when I was a teenager at the time. Well, I was in high school at this time when I discovered how to make movies from a computer. I used to first use that PC kind of computer, and then I later on switched to Mac and all that. So every time you look at these early footage, you probably might see that some of the early footage are just a bunch of photo or mock kind of footage or some kind of document I made. Or it's just some kind of live action film I made, and I definitely made up my own Kirsten Julia show, which was later on used in the KJH Julia show, and yeah, some of those stuff just totally in fact remains a lost medium for today. And by the time when I was still in the middle of high school, well, that's pretty much when I got myself an animation program. Except it was in fact a 2D animation program called Toon Boom's Animate. And I later on switched on to Toon Boom's Harmony though. And you kind of see that the way I use Toon Boom's Harmony. Well, I probably might discuss that later on. And what I did do in my early years is that I create like these 2D animation films, but they're experimental and stuff. And yeah, that one experimental film I made called The Kites of Saturn. Well, you'll never be able to see those experimental films because it's probably still a lost medium for today. So I'm not going to release it on YouTube. So you'll never be able to find it on YouTube or anything else. So it's still lost for this day. And then during my college year, when I was in college, well, yeah, I do have to make live action films. And what I did do during my college year is that I did make, in fact, 4 films at college. Well, one has to be an MLS film. The other one, pretty much, I was really proud of that film because it got submitted to a film festival at San Diego. Well, yeah, I do in fact have to fly all the way to San Diego. Well, I was lucky I brought my parent with me to go and see the movies though, even though the film festival was in fact got aired on San Diego of 2015, which was last year in October. And you kind of see that that film was in fact a vacation trip at a Treasures Hotel. And I was really proud of that film anyway. And it got in fact submitted at a San Diego Film Festival there. Yeah, I don't live in San Diego though, so I'm pretty much far away from it. Yeah, we do have to fly all the way from this state to San Diego though. So I'm sure that maybe the Treasures Hotel was in fact the last live action film I had to make those. So then I in fact move on to animation and I still continue with animation. I still continue with making a lot of 2D animation with all these 3D settings. And one of them might even happens to be like one of those experimental films I made, and the other one happens to be like probably one of those KJH Documentary show, and definitely one of those Haley's Lullaby and stuff. And you probably might find all these animation films in my other channels, because I got 3 channels here. And so I ended up going to AI for the 3D animation, for fully 3D animation, all because my parents just wanted me to make a 3D animation film because I was like stuck with 2D animated characters in a 3D world or something. And that's pretty much what I am stuck here with though. And when I first tried the 3D stuff, I found out it was in fact way too difficult though and stuff. And 2 is that the modeling was really too difficult and stuff. And I didn't tried to make like a 3D character model, but that totally failed. But when I was in school, when I was in AI school, which was that new school I ended up going to, which happens to be the secondary college I ended up going to, well, I technically did in fact made like this 3D character, and I probably may not want to show it to you though, but I haven't even read it yet anyway. It still remains a model piece anyway. And I'm just going to show you how I create the characters for a film. The way I create the characters for an animated film is that the way I created like this baby character, the baby character was in fact half a head and eyes had to look all like glittering cute and stuff, and the toddler size, well, the way I made the toddler, the head has to be at least 1 head tall each. It equals 1 head. And the kid, well, the body equals 2 heads. And the teenagers, their body equals 3 heads. And for this adult, their body equals at least 4 heads. And the way I made like this monster figure or this vampire character and stuff, yeah, I definitely do have to make sure that their body equals at least 4 to 5 heads tall, or 4.5 heads tall if it gets too full from the picture itself. And I guess you kind of get the point though. And I guess pretty much that's all I had to show you on how I create the characters, how I made the movie and all that stuff. I know this seems like an intro and all, but in conclusion, I do in fact have my other 2 channels in the top right. I do in fact have like a Facebook and Twitter account, and you can totally in fact check out my website over here. So make sure you hit the subscribe button on this channel, including my other 2 channels I have. So, thanks for watching.